Mexico just pulled the trigger on a nationwide circular economy law that basically tells the industry, if you make it, you own it, even after it's trash. You can't just sell a bottle, a pouch, a chip bag, and then pretend it magically disappears. Now you're on the hook for what happens to it at the end of life. And you'll have to innovate, redesign, reduce waste, and invest in real plastic recycling. At the same time, Aduro Clean Technologies signs a multi-year deal with ECOCE in Mexico to tackle one of the nastiest plastic waste streams in the country: flexible plastic packaging. If you're long ADUR like I am, this combo is chef's kiss, a structural tailwind. So in this video, I'll walk you through what just happened in Mexico with circular economy law, who ECOSA is and why they matter, how Aduro's hydrochemolytic technology fits perfectly into this regulatory regime, and what I'm watching next as a shareholder. I'm long ADUR or Aduro Clean Technologies. I am biased as hell. Not financial advice, but let's get into it. What Mexico just did. Mexico's Chamber of Deputies just approved the Ley General de Economía Circular almost unanimously and sent it to the Senate, which turned around and passed it as well. 111 votes in favor across all parties. The goal is to shift Mexico from a linear take, mold, dispose model to a circular one where materials stay in the loop longer, increase product life, minimize and recover waste, maximize reuse and recycling. El Economista breaks down some brutal numbers. Mexico generates over 127,000 tons of urban solid waste every day, and only a small fraction makes it back into productive use. Consequently, the new law creates national guidelines for recycling and circularity. Tells the federal government to roll out economic instruments and incentives to support circular economy projects and recycling, including fiscal incentives for circular production and for collecting plastics in coastal areas and public spaces. Forces states and municipalities to promote circular practices and run educational campaigns. Requires sanitary landfills to progressively reconvert over the next 5 years to cut final disposal and integrate into a national circular model. It even recognizes reciclaje inclusivo, inclusive recycling, which formally acknowledges the role of pepenadores, the informal waste pickers, and asks that they be integrated into circular models. So this isn't a tiny tweak. It is a national framework that's going to force everyone, brands, municipalities, waste management companies, to rethink how materials flow. The real heart of this law for us as investors is Responsabilidad Extendida del Productor, REP, Extended Producer Responsibility. Animal Politico summarizes it very clearly. The law formally commits manufacturers and importers to take responsibility for the environmental impact of their products over the entire life cycle. That responsibility can be handled directly. A company sets up its own collection centers and recycling routes, or collectively through a coordinating organization for each sector, basically a producer responsibility organization, a PRO. On top of that, each producer or their coordinating body has to register a Plan Maestro de Cumplimiento with Semarnat, Mexico's environmental ministry. There is a national circular economy system led by Semarnat, and including economy, energy, finance, to align policies across the 3 levels of government. There will be a national circularity label, and products carrying it will get preference in governmental procurement. And the hierarchy is very clear. First, reuse and repair, then recycling, and last resort, landfill. Plus, the law amends existing environmental legislation to push producers to prioritize secondary recycled materials over virgin materials. So imagine you're a big food and beverage brand in Mexico. Overnight, you now have legal obligations to prove you're managing the end of life of your packaging. The option to comply collectively through a producer responsibility organization. And increasing pressure to show regulators, investors, and consumers real circularity, not greenwashing. Hold that thought, because this is exactly where ECOCE and Aduro Clean Technologies slide in. Mexico generates close to 60 kilograms of plastic waste per person per year. So this is roughly 6 to 7 million tons annually. And within that, flexible plastic packaging, think chip bags, pouches, multi-layer films, is a huge and fast-growing category, estimated at about 1.5 million tons per year, roughly 1.6x the volume of PET beverage containers. And these flexibles are a nightmare. Many layers, different polymers, inks, adhesives, very thin formats. They don't fit into traditional collection and mechanical recycling systems, so a lot of them end up incinerated, landfilled, or leaking into the environment. Now meet ECOCE, a non-profit environmental association created and funded by Mexico's food and beverage industry. Manages the national private collective packaging management plant for PET, HDPET, aluminum, and more. Basically, the producer responsibility scheme for packaging in Mexico. Runs national collection, education, take-back programs across population of 132 million people. For over 20 years, ECOSE has driven PET recovery, and now they are saying flexibles are priority number one. So when Mexico passes a law that says, producers, you are responsible for the end of life of your packaging, and you can organize collectively through a producer responsibility organization, ECOCE becomes the natural hub where brands go to solve their producer responsibility obligations for packaging. And flexibles are the ugliest problem on their list. On December 3rd, 2025, Aduro announced a multi-year framework collaboration with ECOCE to evaluate hydrochemolytic technology as a chemical recycling solution for flexible and mixed plastic packaging in Mexico. Key points from the PR: ECOCE will identify, characterize, and supply real post-consumer flexibles from its collection network. Aduro will run a structured, multi-stage program, lab, pilot, continuous pilot, to evaluate processability, yields, product quality, and applications for the liquid products. The target is that 1.5 million tons of flexible streams that doesn't have a good home today. And based on that data, they'll study business models and routes to market, including Aduro-owned plants, ECOCE member-owned plants, or third-party licensees in Mexico. Aduro's hydrochemolytic technology itself is designed to operate at moderate temperatures using water and catalysts, break down mixed contaminated plastics into liquid hydrocarbons that can go into steam crackers as feedstock for new plastics. Recent independent pilot-scale steam cracking trials shows that hydrochemolytic oil from waste plastics can be processed as produced with stable furnace operation and olefin yields comparable to fossil feedstock. That's critical if you want real circular polymers, not just wish cycling. And importantly, Aduro is finishing its next generation process, NGP pilot plant, working on demonstration plant site selection and long lead equipment. So the ECOCE deal is not just a nice PR. It is a multi-year data gathering and commercialization pathway in a country that just passed a new law. Why is this new law a tailwind for Aduro Clean Technologies? Let's connect the dots. 1. Legal pressure. Mexico's circular economy laws says producers are responsible for the full life of their product, including waste. They must file compliance plans and show actual outcomes, not just intentions. 2. Collective compliance. The law explicitly allows collective mechanisms, sector-level organizations, to manage producer responsibility. ECOCE is exactly that for packaging. 3. Hardest fraction is the biggest pain point. Flexibles are one of the hardest fractions to deal with. They are a huge volume, they break mechanical systems, they are highly visible in landfills, so law plus pressure plus no easy solution equals budget. 4. Aduro sits in the sweet spot. Hydrochemolytic technology can handle mixed, contaminated, multi-layer flexibles. The output can be circular feedstock for new plastics. Independent cracking data is already in hand, which helps with brand owner and regulator credibility. 5. Incentives and optionality. The law allows for fiscal incentives for circular processes and plastic collection, which can improve project economics. ECOSA and Aduro are already talking about multiple deployment models, Aduro's owned, member-owned, or licensed plants. So from my perspective as a shareholder, the law doesn't guarantee revenues for Aduro, but it hard codes a problem into Mexican law that Aduro and ECOCE are already being paid to study and solve. If the trials go well and the economics lined up, this can evolve into a demo or first commercial facility in Mexico, license opportunities with big consumer brands or local operators, a template that can be exported to other Latin American markets when they follow similar producer responsibility laws. Again, not overnight, but this is the kind of structural setup I look for when I strap myself into high beta small cap names. So yeah, Mexico just moved from we should recycle more to you are legally responsible for your trash. And Aduro is standing right beside ECOCE, the main industry-backed PRO for packaging in the country, focusing on the exact plastic waste that nobody knows how to deal with. Consequently, long Aduro, I'm biased, I'm excited, and I will be watching the detailed regulations for this circular economy law, the data coming out of ECOSA trials, and any hints of site selection or business model decisions in Mexico. Again, if you found this content useful, hit like, drop me a comment, share this video with that friend who still thinks plastic recycling is just blue bins and good vibes. Not financial advice, do your own due diligence, and see you next time.